Chapter 1353. Despite Lillian and the others regaining clarity for a brief moment, they were still determined that Wilbur was an unholy spawn in their consciousness. Following that, their gazes glazed over once more as they began to attack the spiritual barrier wildly. Some of them even struck the barrier with their heads, uncaring even when they began to bleed. Wilbur's brows furrowed. These people's spirit did not seem to be under control. Instead, it seemed like they had been tainted with a strange force. Even Wilbur could not control so many people at the same time, and thus he refused to believe that Colton and the others were capable of doing so, even if they were achieving it through performing a ritual of sorts. The three elders had crowded over then. Wilbur took a deep breath, turning to face them. He was going to take care of these three first. Maybe the tainted spirits of these people might be solved as well. Colton, Angela, and Baru each held a weapon that looked like a scythe, but its blade resembled the hairy front leg of a cockroach. They surrounded Wilbur, radiating a powerful spiritual pressure that filled the cellar and brought about strong winds. Wilbur's dark disperse exploded with a powerful spiritual pressure as well as he eyed the three elders coldly. "Accept your demise, and you shall comprehend the terror of the great will," Colton declared as he let out a chilling laugh. The other two elders leered at Wilbur as well, as if eyeing a scrumptious meal and drooling at the mouths. Wilbur sensed a hunger in the three elders, like they seemed to view him as the food they were about to feast on. "Could you tell me just what this great will is about then?" Wilbur asked. Colton smirked. "It's the will of the universe. You're going to experience it real soon." "No, I'm fucking not." Wilbur cursed at the lack of information, losing his temper. The three elders' expressions shifted at once. They wielded their weapons at the same time, attacking Wilbur relentlessly. The gigantic blades of their scythes lit up with gray spiritual flames rolling with symbols, filling the entire cellar with rampant spiritual energy. Wilbur sneered. He flicked the dark disperse and deflected the three elders' attacks deftly before proceeding with attacks of his own. A battle broke out between the four of them at once. Colton and the others were hardly good fighters to begin with. They were merely relying on their powerful spiritual pressure to power their attacks. The combined force of the three elders did pose a visible threat. Meanwhile, Wilbur's combat skills were simply divine. Wilbur flipped and ducked within the tiny space he had, the dark disperse exploding with a terrifying spiritual energy that dissolved the three elders' attacks perfectly, all while landing suitably fatal attacks. The three elders could hardly get to Wilbur and were even starting to scramble a little. The four figures wove through the air in a sea of rampant spiritual energy as fierce winds kicked up in the cellar. Wilbur did not activate his domain, nor did he release his shadow domain. Both were very draining to channel and could only last for 10 minutes at most. This was why most elites in battle only revealed their true strengths at the very end. Wilbur was certain that there was more to these three. They were definitely at least at the sanctuary level from the power of their spiritual energy and were sure to have other tricks up their sleeves too. Of course, Wilbur was going to keep his best moves hidden until the enemy revealed theirs first. That was the wisest thing to do. On top of that, there was not much he really had to worry about. He was completely crushing the three elders in terms of physical combat. As the battle progressed and turned heated, the four figures in mid-air were no longer visible to the naked eye. The cellar was practically filled with rampant spiritual energy and there were cracks in the ground, the spiritual barrier beginning to crumble as well. The tainted believers continued their attack on the spiritual barrier. Nothing but crazed.